It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk, 7:43 now, and a special treat with a weird twist. It's Surf Springfield joining us, and Matt Shearer in studio. Good morning, Matt. And we'll get those headphones off of you here in a bit, but I did want to, be sure to share what we were able to do earlier this week and going out to Lake Springfield to test out your electric surfboards.
Yes,
so
sir.
we do have video of that, so we'll be sharing that with you now. If you're watching along on the Facebook page, you'll be able to see this. But check this out. This is Surf Springfield, presentation that we were provided earlier this week, and Matt provides a bit of an overview.
Surf Springfield provides one-on-one personal instruction in the operation of electric hydrofoil surfboards, also known as e-foils. That's basically what we do. It's very hard to describe to someone. It's usually easier to show them a video or a picture and they're like, oh, I totally get it. Anybody can do this. There's many different ways to experience it, and you'll see through the lessons, everybody starts off laying down on it. So anybody of any age, we've had 7-year-olds to 70-year-olds standing on these things. So we are a business for profit. Hopefully we can make that happen in this economy. But so the base offering is a personalized one-on-one lesson. That's where everything starts. It'll be me on a board with you on a board. I'll take you out. We've got an in-helmet communication system so that we can speak to each other on the water easily. We don't have to shout or anything like that. So I can tell you, lean forward a little bit more or lean back, those type of things. Life jackets, helmets, we're insured, all that stuff. Safety is paramount. That's the thing. There's a propeller there. Anything on the water is inherently dangerous. So we provide the instruction so that you can get up on the board surfing safely and quickly. $150 provides a one-on-one lesson for 2 hours. The battery will generally last about 2 hours. It's based on the rider weight and your ability to hydrofoil to e-foil. If you're off the water, there's less strain on the battery and the motor. Also offer the ability to add in a friend or two or family members. So $150 for the first 2 hours. If you want to bring a buddy, that brings that cost down. Add additional $50 per rider, up to 3 is the maximum. So 2 riders, $200. 3 riders, $250.
And you can go and see that at our Facebook page, 92.7 WMAY. And joining us in studio is Matt Scherer, who's behind Surf Springfield. Matt, thanks for taking time with us this morning. This was pretty awesome. I got to experience it myself. So full disclosure, I did try this out, and Matt
was
gave
great,
me.
actually. He stood up and flew in the air. It was awesome.
Well, and you talk about how you're there monitoring people. So it's not just like you're giving them to people to take off into the water themselves. This is a sophisticated piece of equipment, and you're there to kind of guide them.
Indeed, and that's one of the things is we don't just let people take these things and go wild. We supervise the safe instruction to get you up quickly and riding it. You could spend hours out there by yourself trying to figure it out and get frustrated. We've had professional kite surfers that buy these things and say, oh, I'm an expert, and then they come back and return them because they didn't take the time to just take a lesson and get the best practices and the safest way to get up and stand and fly on these things.
Believe it or not, I was able to get up on it after, of course, falling off several times. But
everybody falls. Yeah, everyone will fall.
Within about 20 or 30 minutes, I was standing up, and it was pretty incredible. But Matt, of course, with Surf Springfield, people can search and find more on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll get those details out. But you have this business you're starting, you're moving right along, you're getting more interest, you're promoting and whatnot, but there seems to have been a little bit of a wrench thrown into the works here. What's going on?
Well, we ran into a snag there. We reached out to City Council and said, here's what we want to do, and we said, here's a bunch of information, send it to all the council members, Corporation Council, the mayor's office, everyone, and said, hey, if you have any questions, reach out. Is there any reason why we can't do this? We've registered as an LLC, registered the craft themselves. Illinois Department of Natural Resources determined that they fall under personal watercraft, so we registered them as such. And then we received information from the mayor's office the other day that these type of craft are not going to be permitted on Lake Springfield, and we're just a little confused at this point. We've reached out for a comment from the mayor's office as to why we can't operate them on the lake, since the Illinois Department of Natural Resources does consider them personal watercraft, and they are registered as such. just trying to find out a little bit more information. We want to comply with all the rules and regulations, and obviously we're trying to be as safe as possible. With the helmets, the life jackets that are Coast Guard approved. There's a lot of safety features built into the product itself, as well as we do supervise the instruction. We don't just give them to people and let them go wild.
And for full disclosure, I have also reached out to the city to find out more detail as to why these are not going to be permitted on Lake Springfield. But you've got some other options out there, right? I mean, it's not just Lake Springfield. You can take these things.
Of course.
Use these things.
They're the nature of them and the nature of the business itself, and that's why I really wanted to start it up right now, is that I can have these boards, at my garage, charge the batteries there, and we can meet people pretty much anywhere. I can put them in the back of my truck and take them to any body of water that has 4 feet of water depth or more that will allow us to. Obviously, we're going to comply with all the local regulations of the bodies of water and who's in charge of them, but it could go from Surf Springfield to Surf Decatur to Surf Shelbyville to, pretty much any body of water that will allow us. So we have recently reached out to Decatur, and we're waiting to hear back from them, but they seem to have a few less regulations on their body of water. The young gentleman that I spoke to at their lake patrol mentioned something about a 900 horsepower cigarette boat that they allowed out there because they were like searching around, they couldn't find anywhere where they could put it. And Decatur said, yeah, sure, here's the rules and love to have you. So
we're talking with Matt Scherer. He is the voice behind Surf Springfield. They're electronic surfboards that are propelled through a remote control. It's pretty neat technology, and I imagine this is just the beginning of this type of technology. And he was operating and getting some clients, and then he was told he can't operate on Lake Springfield. We have yet to get the full details as to why. But Matt, talk about the safety components here, because one of the things that you had whenever you showed me and gave me a demonstration earlier this week was these awesome helmets that have communication devices in them. I mean, that's just one extra layer of kind of added security and safety in all of this.
Of course. Well, I think it all begins with just my background and why I wanted to do this. As a child, growing up, I was on the swim team. I was an instructor teaching children how to swim, then became a lifeguard. I lived in California for a period of time where I went to music school and I surfed in the ocean there. I'm also a registered EMTI with the state of Illinois. I'm Red Cross CPR certified. So those are some of the things that I bring to the table. But also the company themselves, they have built-in safety features in addition to the helmets and the jackets that we wear with the communication system so that we can keep you safe, give you best practices on the water with the communication system there. But the Bluetooth handheld controller, a lot of people are like, how do you control that thing? Does the controller turn it? Well, no, it's body weight, and that's why we instruct people how to ride these things safely. So the Bluetooth controller has an antenna in it, and there's an antenna in the nose of the board. And so if you fall in the water and the controller goes underwater, it shuts the board off. If you're riding on this board and you step off of it or jump away from it, generally it will nosedive into the water. The antenna in the nose of the board will go underwater, and that'll cut the connection. There's also a distance qualifier. If you get too far away from it, it will shut off as well. So a lot of safety features built in there, but mostly me giving you the best instruction, being there personally with you, as well as the physical safety features of the helmets, the communication, and the life jackets.
Well, and you're a pro at it. I mean, the way you pulled it off
I'm learning.
You make it look so seamless and easy, Matt. Surf Springfield's what we're talking about, and you can find out more. Matt, tell us where people can find more information about what you got going on.
Of course. So our website is surf-springfield.com. We're on Facebook at Surf Springfield, all one word, and we are on Instagram at Surf_Springfield as well. My phone number is on all of those. It's my personal phone number, so if you don't like me, then give it to telemarketers. They're calling already anyway. So, but yeah, hit us up on any of those. The website and everything should list it, booking at surf-springfield.com right now. So with everything with the city right now, we do have some bookings coming up. We're reaching out to those clients right now about potentially rescheduling and figuring out, because we're not going to scoff the law or anything like that. We want to comply with all the rules and regulations. But those people, we're working with them to potentially reschedule or find a different body of water for the meantime until we can figure out what's going on with Springfield. But if you do want to book with us, like I said, we're working on other bodies of water or potentially, hopefully, we can resolve this and figure out what's going on. We hope that it's just an issue of more education about all of the safety features and whatnot, because we have complied with, I think, all of the boxes that need to be checked.
Well,
registering,
you're insured,
and all
you're
these
registered
things.
business,
Yes,
you've got all these
Yep.
things in line, ready to go. But
we think we've hit them all. If we missed one, let us know, and we're happy to comply with that one too. So.
Well, greatly appreciate you taking the time. Thanks for letting me experience this.
Thank you, and thanks for coming out. You did a great job. We look forward to the next time we can have you. You'll be flying around the whole time next time.
And the thing is, we just had such short amount of time, right?
And that's why we do the 2-hour lesson. Yeah. 20, 30 minutes, you get a taste, and you're like, I got it now. And it's
we had rescheduled it a couple of times.
Right.
We were able to make it happen in just a short amount of time. Really cool stuff.
Sure. Thank you.
And I'm excited for what the future holds for this type of technology.
We're bringing it to Central Illinois. If it ends up that Springfield isn't the body of water that we can do it on, we're working on other ones. And that was the goal from the beginning, is to bring the joy of surfing to Central Illinois. Matt
Shearer, he is Surf Springfield. Greatly appreciate you taking the time this morning. We will definitely be talking again soon, all right?
Thanks, Bishop.
It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's